Dear listener, welcome to tonight's story. Take a moment to let your body settle, to feel the gentle weight of the day begin to dissolve. Your head sinks into the pillow, the fabric soft against your skin, as a deep breath fills your lungs with the cool, tranquil air of the evening. The rhythm of your breath steadies, slow and unhurried, a tide rolling in and out with quiet ease. Outside, the world carries on, but here, at this moment, there is only stillness, a space where time stretches and thoughts drift like clouds across a quiet sky. Now close your eyes and step into a different place, a world that exists just beyond the veil of sleep. A gentle path unfolds before you, lined with smooth stones that glisten faintly beneath the golden afternoon light. You stand at the edge of an ancient forest where towering trees with thick, gnarled roots whisper stories in the hush of rustling leaves. The scent of pine and rich earth fills the air, mingling with the distant fragrance of something sweet, perhaps honeysuckle, or the faintest trace of warm vanilla carried on the breeze. This is the beginning of your journey, a pathway leading you toward a haven unlike any other. With each step, the world around you softens. The worries of the day seem lighter, dissolving into the hush of the forest. Birds call gently from the canopy above, their songs weaving through the air like delicate threads of a forgotten lullaby. The sunlight flickers through the branches, dappling the path with patches of warmth that kiss your skin as you walk. A soft wind stirs, carrying with it the crisp scent of rain that has long since passed, leaving the world refreshed and renewed. Then, just ahead, a clearing appears, bathed in the golden glow of the late afternoon sun. And there, standing as if it has always been waiting for you, is the timeless villa. Its stone walls, draped in ivy, rise with a quiet dignity, each weathered brick a testament to the years it has witnessed. The windows gleam, their glass catching the light like liquid amber, while the deep red and terracotta roof tiles shimmer like embers from a fire long burned down to glowing coals. The very air around the villa feels different, imbued with a stillness that stretches beyond the edges of time itself. Here, past and present weave together, forming a place where moments linger and the rush of the world slows to a gentle lull. The entrance welcomes you with an ornate golden door, slightly ajar, as though it has been waiting for you, and you alone. As you step forward, your fingers brush against the smooth brass handle, warm beneath your touch. The door swings inward, revealing a grand foyer bathed in soft golden light. The air inside is warm and fragrant, carrying notes of sandalwood, citrus, and a hint of something floral, perhaps jasmine, blooming unseen in the night air. Polished wooden floors gleam beneath your feet, reflecting the soft glow of the light filtering through tall arched windows. Above, a painted ceiling stretches high, depicting a sky awash with stars, their silvery glow eternal, unchanging. The villa hums with quiet energy, not in sound, but in feeling, as though the very walls recognize your presence and are delighted by it. To your left, an elegant staircase curves upward, its banisters smooth beneath your fingertips. To your right, an open doorway reveals a cozy sitting room filled with plush armchairs, each one seemingly waiting to cradle you in its embrace. The sheer curtains billow slightly, stirred by an unseen breeze, and the golden afternoon light spills across the floor in delicate patterns, shifting as if they are alive. As you move through the villa, Each room offers its own quiet wonder. The library is a world of its own, lined with shelves that stretch from floor to ceiling, cradling books whose spines whisper promises of stories untold. A large armchair sits near a window, draped with a soft woven blanket, as if inviting you to lose yourself in the pages of a book beneath the watchful gaze of the twilight sky. Through another doorway, you find yourself in the grand dining hall, where a long table is set with fine china and crystal glasses that catch the fading light like captured starlight. The chairs, carved with intricate details, stand in quiet anticipation, as though awaiting a gathering that will never come. And yet, the air here is not lonely. It is simply patient, as if time itself has learned to wait. Beyond the hall, a series of bedrooms beckon. Each one is unique, yet all share the same air of quiet luxury. The beds are adorned with silken linens, piled high with pillows that promise the deepest, most restful sleep. One room calls to you more than the others. Its walls are painted in the softest shades of blue and silver, reminiscent of moonlight on water. A window stretches wide, offering a view of the lush garden outside, where roses climb in delicate spirals along wrought iron trellises, and the scent of lavender drifts through the evening air. You step inside, drawn by a sense of familiarity, as though this room has been waiting for you for far longer than you have known it. The mattress cradles you as you sink onto it, the fabric cool and inviting beneath your touch. For a moment you simply breathe, allowing the villa's embrace to settle over you like a warm, comforting blanket. The world outside feels distant now, a gentle murmur at the edge of your awareness. But the villa has more to offer. Rising from the bed, you follow a narrow hallway that leads to a secret garden, hidden away behind a curtain of climbing vines. The scent of jasmine thickens here, mingling with the fresh, earthy aroma of moss-covered stones. A small fountain bubbles softly in the center, its water catching the light of the stars that have begun to appear in the velvet sky above. You take a seat on a stone bench, running your fingers along its cool, smooth surface, and let the sounds of the garden lull you into deeper relaxation. Somewhere beyond the trees, the faint hoot of an owl echoes, its call a gentle reminder of the vast, quiet world that exists beyond these walls. Fireflies flicker like tiny lanterns in the air, their glow adding to the dreamlike quality of the space. Here, time slows even further, and you find yourself content simply to exist, to breathe in the night air, and let its tranquility settle into your bones. As you sit in peaceful stillness, the villa continues to reveal its secrets. A wooden door, nearly hidden among the ivy, catches your eye. You rise and push it open, stepping into a candlelit corridor that leads to an underground chamber. The walls are lined with shelves holding delicate glass bottles filled with glowing liquids, their light pulsing softly like captured moonlight. The air is thick with the scent of aged parchment and old magic, as if the villa itself remembers every soul that has ever passed through its halls. At the center of the chamber, a circular pool reflects the constellations above, though there is no roof to be seen. Kneeling beside it, you trail your fingers through the water, watching as ripples distort the reflection before settling once more. The sensation is cool and soothing, as if the pool carries the essence of serenity itself. You feel lighter, as though the burdens of the waking world are dissolving into the water, leaving only peace in their place. With a final glance around the chamber, you make your way back up to the villa's heart, the warm glow of candlelight guiding you. The night has deepened, wrapping the world in its velvet embrace. The stars outside shine brighter, their light spilling through the windows in scattered constellations across the polished floors. The villa, ancient and wise, hums with quiet contentment, cradling you within its timeless magic. At last, you return to your bed, the soft linens welcoming you once more. As your eyes flutter shut, the villa seems to sigh around you, settling into the hush of the night. Here, within these walls, you are safe. You are home. As you drift deeper into slumber, the villa's magic continues to unfold. The moonlight streaming through the windows takes on an ethereal quality, painting silvery paths across the room that seem to lead to new, unexplored spaces. The air grows warmer, more embracing, like being wrapped in a cloud of the softest cashmere. Each breath draws in the mingled scents of night-blooming flowers, aged wood, and the faintest trace of vanilla that seems to emanate from the very walls themselves. The gentle rhythm of your breathing aligns with the subtle pulse of the villa, a slow, steady heartbeat that echoes through its ancient stones. The ceiling above your bed appears to stretch endlessly upward, its painted stars now twinkling with an inner light that mirrors the real constellations visible through the window. As your consciousness floats between waking and dreaming, the boundaries between what is real and what is imagined begin to blur in the most peaceful way. Beyond your window, the garden has transformed in the moonlight. The roses that climb the trellises now gleam like pearls, their petals catching and holding the starlight. Dewdrops gather on leaves and grass, each one a perfect sphere containing entire worlds of reflected light. The fountain's gentle song has shifted to match the evening's quieter rhythm, its water now falling in patterns that seem to whisper ancient lullabies. The villa's warmth seeps into your muscles, releasing any remaining tension from the day. Your fingers sink into the downy softness of the bedding, which feels as though it's made from clouds gathered at sunset when the sky is at its most tender. The pillow beneath your head seems to know exactly how to cradle you, supporting you in perfect comfort, as though it was crafted specifically for this moment, this night, this dream. In the distance, through layers of stone and time, the underground pool continues its quiet communion with the stars. Its water ripples with memories of your touch, sending gentle waves of tranquility throughout the villa's foundation. The glowing bottles in the chamber pulse in harmony with your heartbeat, their light growing softer, more diffuse, like lanterns seen through the morning mist. The library's books whisper their stories into the night air, their pages rustling ever so gently as though stirred by the breath of sleeping dragons. The leather bindings release their comforting scent, mixing with the natural perfume of old paper and ink, creating an atmosphere of timeless wisdom and peace. Knowledge flows like honey through the air, sweet and slow, requiring no effort to absorb. Deeper into the villa's embrace, new rooms reveal themselves in the periphery of your awareness. A conservatory filled with exotic plants that only bloom in moonlight, their petals releasing subtle fragrances that inspire the most peaceful of dreams. A music room where phantom melodies hover in the air, too delicate to hear with ears alone, felt instead in the gentle flutter of your heart. A meditation chamber where time pools like still water, creating a sanctuary of perfect calm. The grand staircase now seems to spiral both up and down into infinity, its wooden steps polished by the passage of countless dreams. The banister gleams with warm, inner light, as though the wood itself has absorbed centuries of candlelight and starshine. Each curve and spiral leads to another level of tranquility, another layer of peace waiting to be discovered. The sitting room's armchairs have gathered closer together, like old friends sharing secrets in the night. The fabric of their upholstery shimmers with subtle patterns that shift and change when viewed from different angles, creating a kaleidoscope of soothing colors, deep blues, soft purples, and the green of forest shadows. The room holds the warmth of every conversation ever shared within its walls, every moment of quiet contemplation, every peaceful afternoon spent watching the light change. Outside, the forest has drawn nearer to the villa, its ancient trees standing guard like benevolent sentinels. Their leaves murmur together in a language older than words, sharing wisdom that can only be understood in dreams. The path that led you here has transformed into a ribbon of moonlight, winding through the trees like a river of silver, its stones now seeming to float just above the ground. The villa's kitchen, though distant from your peaceful chamber, radiates its own kind of comfort. Copper pots hang in perfect stillness, their surfaces reflecting tiny points of starlight that have found their way inside. Herbs dry in bundles from the ceiling beams, releasing subtle aromatics that drift through the halls. Lavender, chamomile, and sweet basil, all combining to create an atmosphere of homely tranquility. In the grand dining hall, the table has been set for dreams. The crystal glasses catch and scatter moonlight like prisms, sending tiny rainbows dancing across the ceiling. The fine china holds reflections of clouds that pass overhead, while the silver cutlery gleams with a light that seems to come from within. The chairs wait patiently, their carved backs creating shadows that tell stories on the walls. A warm breeze carries the scent of night-blooming jasmine through the villa, its path visible as a subtle shimmer in the air. It passes through each room like a gentle caress, stirring curtains into graceful dances and carrying whispers of peace from one corner of the villa to another. The breeze knows every hidden passage and every secret corner, and shares its discoveries with you in the language of dreams. The painted ceiling above continues its slow dance of constellations, the stars shifting into new patterns that exist only in this space between sleeping and waking. Occasionally, a shooting star traces a golden path across the ceiling, leaving behind a trail of stardust that slowly dissolves into the air like sugar in warm tea. Time continues to flow differently here in the villa, moving like honey dripping from a spoon, slow, golden, and sweet. Each moment stretches out into eternity, yet passes like the blink of an eye. The weight of the outside world has completely fallen away now, replaced by the gentle pressure of peace and calmness that fills every corner of this timeless space. Your consciousness drifts like a feather on a warm current of air, rising and falling with each breath. The villa cradles you in its ancient embrace, its walls humming with a lullaby that resonates in your very bones. Every inhale brings deeper peace. Every exhale releases you further into this realm of perfect peace. As sleep approaches like a soft-footed cat, the villa seems to settle even deeper into its foundations, as though it too is preparing for dreams. The starlight grows softer, the shadows warmer, and the boundary between you and this magical place becomes ever more indistinct. You are the villa, and the villa is you, a perfect union of peace, comfort, and timeless serenity. As your consciousness floats deeper into the realm of dreams, the villa's enchantment grows ever more profound. The air itself seems to shimmer with tiny motes of golden light, like dust particles caught in sunbeams. Except these sparkle with their own inner radiance. They drift lazily through the air, creating patterns that resemble constellations before dissolving and reforming into new celestial maps. The bed beneath you feels as though it's gently floating, suspended in a sea of calmness. The linens have taken on the quality of liquid silk, flowing and adjusting to cradle your body in perfect comfort. Each breath draws you deeper into this state of perfect relaxation, where the boundary between body and bed, between consciousness and dreams, becomes beautifully indistinct. From somewhere deep within the villa's walls comes a sound like distant wind chimes, but softer, as though the notes are being played on strings made of moonlight. The melody weaves through the air in lazy spirals, each note carrying with it the essence of peace. It's not so much heard as felt, a vibration that resonates with the very core of your being, tuning your body to the frequency of pure tranquility. The garden outside your window has transformed once again. The roses now emit a subtle phosphorescence, their petals glowing with a light that pulses in time with your heartbeat. The lavender sways in a breeze that carries no chill, its movement hypnotic and soothing. Moonflowers have opened their faces to the night sky, their white petals luminescent against the dark foliage, releasing a fragrance that seems to be made of dreams themselves. High above, the painted stars on the ceiling have begun to move in slow, graceful orbits. They trace patterns that tell stories of ancient peace, of quiet nights stretching back through centuries. The constellations shift and flow like schools of celestial fish swimming through an ocean of deep blue night, their movements creating a dance of light and shadow that lulls you deeper into relaxation. The villa's magic continues to deepen, revealing new layers of wonder. The walls seem to breathe in perfect harmony with you, expanding and contracting so subtly that it's felt rather than seen. This rhythm carries with it whispers of all the peaceful moments ever experienced within these halls, countless nights of perfect rest, innumerable dreams of sublime beauty. In the distance, the underground pool has become a mirror of liquid starlight. Its surface is so still it appears solid, yet somehow it flows continuously, creating patterns that reflect not just the sky above, but all possible skies, all possible nights of perfect peace. The glowing bottles that line the chamber walls pulse ever more softly, their light dimming and brightening in a rhythm that matches the beating of your heart. The library's books have fallen into a deeper silence now, but their presence remains comforting, like old friends who understand that sometimes the greatest peace comes from shared quiet. The leather of their bindings releases a scent that mingles with the night air, creating an atmosphere that feels like wisdom distilled into perfume. Knowledge continues to flow, but now it seeps into your dreams like honey into warm tea, sweet and slow and perfectly natural. Through half-closed eyes, you might notice that the corners of the room have softened, as though the very architecture of the villa is dissolving into a dream. The walls don't end so much as fade into a gentle mist that sparkles with tiny points of light. This transformation brings no alarm, only a deeper sense of peace, as though the villa is removing the last barriers between the waking world and the realm of dreams. The grand staircase has become a cascade of liquid moonlight, each step dissolving into the next in a continuous flow of radiance. The banister gleams with a light that seems to come from centuries of hands passing over its surface, each touch leaving behind a trace of dreams and peaceful moments. The sight brings a profound sense of connection to all those who have found rest within these walls before. In the sitting room, the armchairs have gathered even closer, their shapes now suggestive of sleeping cats, curved and comfortable in the deepening night. The fabric of their upholstery ripples occasionally, as though stirred by the passage of gentle dreams. The patterns that shift across their surfaces have slowed to a peaceful crawl, moving with the languid pace of clouds on a summer afternoon. The secret garden has become a sanctuary of liquid shadow and silver light. The fountain's water falls in slow motion, each droplet containing a universe of peace within its crystal sphere. The stone bench where you sat earlier now seems to float just above the ground, supported by cushions of moonlight. The moss that covers the ancient stones glows with a subtle phosphorescence, creating paths of soft light that wind through the garden like rivers of stars. The night-blooming flowers have opened fully now, their petals spread wide to catch the starlight. They release waves of fragrance that seem visible in the air, soft clouds of scent that drift like colored smoke, each bringing its own shade of peacefulness. Jasmine's silver-white tendrils of perfume intertwine with the deep purple of lavender and the golden notes of honeysuckle, creating an ever-changing tapestry of scent and color. Time has become completely fluid now, flowing like water through your fingers, impossible to grasp yet perfectly tangible. Moments stretch into eternities, and eternities compress into moments, all held within the villa's timeless embrace. The very air seems to crystallize occasionally, holding perfect instants of peace, like insects in amber, before dissolving back into the gentle flow of the night. The villa's magic has reached its deepest level, where reality and dreams are one and the same. The walls pulse with a slow, steady light that matches your heartbeat, as though the entire structure has become an extension of your peaceful rest. Every surface holds a subtle glow, like mother of pearl caught in moonlight, creating an atmosphere of perpetual twilight that soothes the mind and calms the spirit. In this deepest state of peace, you might notice that the air itself has taken on a texture, soft as silk, warm as a summer evening, embracing as a gentle hug. It carries whispers of comfort that seem to come from the very stones of the villa. Ancient lullabies in languages too old for words, expressed instead in pure feeling and absolute harmony. The candlelight that illuminates the corridors has transformed into something more ethereal, perhaps the distilled essence of all the peaceful evenings ever experienced, concentrated into pure, gentle radiance. This light doesn't so much illuminate as suggest, creating shapes and shadows that flow like water, never harsh, always soothing. Your awareness expands to fill the entire villa while simultaneously drawing inward to a single point of perfect peace. You are everywhere and nowhere, fully present yet completely at rest. The distinction between your consciousness and the villa's magic has dissolved completely, leaving only an infinite expanse of calmness. In this space between spaces, this moment between moments, you float in perfect suspension. The villa cradles you in its timeless embrace, its ancient magic working to bring you ever deeper into the realm of dreams. Each breath draws you further into this perfect peace. Each heartbeat aligns more closely with the villa's eternal rhythm. Rest now in this deepest level of tranquility, where dreams and reality merge into something more profound than either. Let the villa's magic continue its gentle work, bringing peace to every corner of your being, transforming consciousness into pure, perfect rest. Sleep beckons with arms made of starlight and promises of endless peace. Rest now in this space between spaces, this moment between moments. Let the villa's magic work through you, bringing peace to every cell and tranquility to every thought. Sleep approaches on silent feet, bringing with it dreams of endless wonder and perfect peace. Good night, dear dreamer. Sleep well in the embrace of the timeless villa.